So welcome to your air element flow for Libra season. Now the element of air is linked anatomically with the heart and the lungs. In yogic sciences, the heart is known as anahata, our heart chakra, and our throat known as vishuddha, our throat chakra. So in this practice, we will do a range of poses and sequences to tap into the heart and the throat through backbending, through balance, but just to show courage as well as being kind. So finding your comfortable seat, we'll just take this opening moment just to find our breath. If it feels right, maybe taking the left hand into the heart space to connect with your heart energy. And maybe placing right hand into the lower belly as you feel the rise and fall of your breath. And then we'll just rest the hands comfortably to prepare for our practice. So we'll start by reaching the arms out, and we're going to cross the right wrist over the left wrist, intertwining the fingers and pressing the spine back into flexion as we tuck the chin in to find that cat position with the spine. Just feel the energy to the back. And then for our counter pose, to sweep the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades as you send the arms away. Now sending the hands into the right, drawing that right elbow through the midline and allowing the neck to lean over to the left. We'll again stretch the arms back behind us, then sweeping the hands, this time left wrist crossing on top of right wrist, intertwining the fingers, chin in, exhale to push back into flexion, rounding the spine. Taking our counter pose, sweeping hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades to send the arms away from the body, and then to draw the hands into our left elbow, traveling through center as our neck leans over to the right. We'll recenter, reaching the arms away one last time. And then just to release. So now we'll take a breath to look up, so we open out vishuddha. Now exhale to look down. And then just to circle from shoulder to shoulder, just to unravel the cervical part of the spine. Now feel free to add twists, looking up or down. Just allow the breath to guide you. Then maybe resting the hands or take your fingertips to shoulder blades. We're going to roll up and to roll away, just in our own timing. A yoga instructor once told me that the shoulders are the gateway to the heart. So just to energize and mobilize through rotation, through breath. And then just to reverse the flow. We'll segue into our next flow, so reaching the arms above on the inhale to maybe cross elbows, wrists or opposite shoulder blades, and then to circle the hands behind the back, holding onto right wrist as you bend elbows, hands away from body, and then just to alternate that again to your own pace. We'll then unravel into our tabletop position to segue into our cat and cows. So again, finding that cat on the out breath as we look towards thighs, then inhalation into cow, lowering the belly, lifting the gaze and sit bones. Again, feel free to circle through the wrists, maybe taking fingers in towards each other, maybe the back of the hands, as you find leans into the supporting muscles throughout the spine. Finding trajectory, finding movement. Again, just allow the breath to guide you. Now to segue into the dolphin pose, to stabilize the shoulders as we bend the forearms. Now walking the feet up so the heels are lifted and the tailbone again is the highest point. So as we press through the forearms to feel the shoulders separate, again stabilizing and energizing the upper body. Releasing back to tabletop position, we'll send it back into our downward facing dog. Again with the tailbone as the highest point. Maybe you find stillness, or maybe to walk out the dog. Bending at the knees, activating the hamstrings and calves. And then we'll slowly walk the feet to the tops of our mats, just to find that forward bend, top of the mat. Again, an opportunity to ragdoll from side to side to release the lower back. Maybe allowing fingertips to dangle or to hold opposite elbows or forearms. Nice release with the lower back. And then just taking your time to uncoil, to rise into your mountain pose, just allowing the head to be the last thing to rise as we stand toward the tops of our mats, just to prepare for a very light sun salutation to mobilize the upper body and lower body. We're going to start by taking our hands into prayer. Now big inhalation into your standing back bend. So as you squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward. Now find a range. Let the heart lead. Let the fingertips reach to the back. And then on the exhalation to uncoil back into our forward bend. An inhalation into a flat back. An exhalation to step left leg back into low lunge, so lower back knee, top of the foot plants. Sinking hips. Inhalation, arms reach up overhead. Exhalation, anterior tilt to bend at the elbows, goddess, heart to sky. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Hold on to the left wrist and exhale to side bend over to the right. Side stretching into that left hand side of the torso. We'll breathe it back through the middle and exhale to twist to the right. Left hand outside the right knee. Maybe right hand reaches back or wraps behind the back. With those shoulders down and square, we'll breathe. Exhale into thoracic spine, enjoying the twist. We'll frame the front foot as we step back into our plank position, shoulders over wrists, belly to spine, embracing our power of our core. Feel the strength. Exhale into Chaturanga, Dandasana, as we unpeel the body back. Now rolling the shoulders back, shoulders away from ears, as we squeeze the glutes, lift the thighs, lift the chest for Shalabhasana, locust pose. And then unpeel the body back. Hands in line with the shoulders, inhalation, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So with hips and shoulders square, again pressing back into the tailbone, we'll find expansion. So lifting the right leg up for the three-legged dog. Exhale to bend at the knee to find the scorpion pose. Take another breath into the palms as you press with power. Exhale into lower body. Now we'll sweep right foot in between the palms, again segueing back into our lunge, sinking hips, and then exhalation into your half split. Now maybe feel free to plant the sole of the foot down, then take the foot from side to side, or maybe even taking left hand to the outside of the right foot. Again, an opportunity to explore. And then we'll rebend that knee on the inhale, and exhalation, forward bend, top of the mat. Well done. So preparing for other side, we'll ground through the feet, we'll draw our belly up, and again we'll just rise with that inhalation. So big breath in, we'll reach the arms overhead into our standing back bend as we squeeze the glutes, pressing hips forward. Shine the heart. And exhalation, forward bend, closing the body. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step right leg back, low lunge. Breathe the arms up overhead. Exhalation, anterior tilt into the goddess back bend. Take another breath into that heart space. And then exhale, neutral, arms reach up overhead as we hold onto right wrist. Now side bending to left, stretching into right side of the torso. Again, breathe into the space, enjoy the stretch. We'll inhale back through the center, exhale twisting left, right hand outside of left knee, maybe going for the wrap behind the back. Again with those shoulders down and square, heart lifted, sending the exhale into thoracic spine. We'll recenter, framing front foot, as we step it back into our plank position, belly to spine. Again, connect with your energy. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. And peel the body back into the earth, preparing for Shalabhasana. Energize, squeeze and lift. Out breath, release body down. Hands in over the shoulders, and inhalation to upward facing dog, so stretch it out. And exhalation into downward facing dog. Left leg rising for that three-legged dog. Exhalation into scorpion. On that inhale, then sweep left foot in between palms, sinking hips. And exhale into your half split. Again, an opportunity to explore. And then to rebend that knee on the inhale, as we find our forward bend, top of the mat on the exhale. Then we'll slowly rise up through the spine to segue into mountain pose, to now segue into balance. So again, we can use a mantra. I am light. I am bright. As we prepare to take flight. So with the focus ready, let's begin. First pose, standing figure 4. Externally rotate the right leg, flex the foot, cross it over, top of left knee, and then just a bend into left knee. Laser focus, steady breath. Very good. Let's bring it back through the center. Let's test that balance. So drawing the right knee into the chest, left hand will grab the knee, right arm reaches back for that standing twist. Option for left hand to hold outside the right foot to extend the leg as you gaze towards the back hand. Nice and steady, but as always, embracing those wobbles. So recentering, drawing right knee to chest. Now maybe underhooking underneath the right knee to draw right knee out to the side Or again, maybe take peace fingers to big toes or hold where you can to extend. Very good. We'll draw the leg back through the middle to maybe hold onto our right ankle, or take the right hand inside of the right foot to find dancer's pose as we kick the foot back into the hand and hand back into the foot, maybe bending into left knee as we tip from the hip, left arm leading the way. Very good, and then we'll release. Amazing. So let's recenter top of our mats. So recalibrating, we've got to do it all on the other side. So we know the flow, we know where we need to go. So again, let's be light and let's let that energy grow. So we'll begin, reclined figure 4, left leg, flex, cross, stabilize. Very good. We'll recenter, draw left knee to chest. Right hand holds, left arm reaching back. Again, option to extend for that standing twist. Good, we'll bring it back through the middle and maybe underhooking to externally rotate, leg out to the left, or to hold where you can and to extend. Then to find our dancer's pose, so maybe left ankle or left hand inside the foot. Just think standing back bend, energy in hand and foot, right arm leading the way. Show the courage. Go. Very good. We'll reach the arms overhead on that inhale. Out breath into chair pose. Option to lift the heels. Our last opportunity to work strength through the legs. Taking that breath in, landing heels. Exhalation, forward bend. We'll step it back into our plank position. And to lower chaturanga. And release onto our fronts. Well done. So we'll segue now into back bending. Starting off with the Sphinx pose to bend the elbows out in front of us. As we lift the chest, squeeze the glutes. Now maybe you want to stay here, and that's okay. Maybe you can take the seal pose. This is where we start to extend the arms. But if you want to follow me in this next flow, to take Dhanurasana bow pose. So again, we want energy in ankles and hands and in shoulders away from the lower back. As we squeeze and lift. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold Dhanurasana. We're going to let go into Shalabhasana, back bending combo. Again, squeeze and lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Hands in line with shoulders, and we'll take it back into child's pose to reset the spine. Great work. So I like to work to the power of 3. So again, we're going to allow the heart to travel to the top of the mat. Now maybe you find your Sphinx pose again to seal pose, or this time taking our Dhanurasana A, but to roll onto our right side into Dhanurasana B. So you want to feel the shoulder blades stacking, pressing the hips forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then we're going to roll back onto our fronts. Dhanurasana A into Shalabhasana for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Hands in line with shoulders. Exhalation, child's pose. Just find the breath. We've got one more round to do. Ground the energy. Recalibrate. Re-energize. We'll prepare. We'll take heart top of the mat. Again, option for Sphinx pose if you would like to. But again, finding our Dhanurasana A. Squeeze and lift. Energy out from lower back as we take it into ankles and feet. Again, holding for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rolling over onto our left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big roll back into Dhanurasana A, or the energy up. Let the energy go. Shalabhasana for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release. Well done. Hands in line with the shoulders. And exhalation, child's pose. Amazing. So we'll rise back into our tabletop position and just transfer into kneeling position. So working the shoulders, again linking with the element of air, we're going to segue into our shoulder bind, segueing into Marichyasana E. So with the right knee bent, we're going to place our hand in between our right foot and our left knee, and taking our right hand, reaching it forward, giving yourself a thumbs up, a thumbs down to rotate, to wrap it around the shin, long reach with that back hand to find the bind. We'll take that breath in and exhalation just to melt forward. Good, we'll rise back through center, and then we'll alternate sides. So now bending into our left knee, and again placing the left hand to create the space that we need to send the left shoulder forward, to give yourself a thumbs up, to internally rotate, wrap, finding the bind, lifting, and exhale, folding. Very good, we'll bring it back through the center. Just taking a moment just to observe the energy through the shoulders. And then we'll just take it back into our downward facing dog, preparing to take it into the lower body. So again, we'll let that right leg rise on that inhale, three-legged dog, exhalation into scorpion pose. Now segueing into lizard pose, so right foot parallel to the hands as we open out the inner thighs. Now again, squeezing the glutes helps to release the inner thighs. You may want to take the foot out, rolling onto the pinky edge, maybe to release the forearms. And again, there'll be a few options here if you want to explore your lizard pose, but feel free to stay here if you would like to. So as the body warms up, maybe we find our winged lizard, taking our hands over to the left. A bit of a deeper stretch, but also gets into the left hand side of the hip as well. And again, if you want some more, we can take the bind with the lizard, again working our shoulder rotation, But the element of air is also linked with creativity. So what we can do in our binded lizard is to bend into our left knee to find a hybrid of bird of paradise and seated compass. Again, opportunity to maybe hold on to that wrist as we just blend poses. Again, always feeling creativity in our practice. But we'll release back into our lizard pose. And then we'll segue back into downward facing dog to take that right leg back into that scorpion. And now right leg coming forward for pigeon pose or 90-90 stretch now to get into the medial rotators. So taking the pigeon where you need it to go. But then we'll transfer now into our Lord of the Fishes, Ardha Matsyendrasana, the seated twist. So as we roll into that right hip, we'll draw the left leg to maybe cross in front of the ankle or maybe over the thigh. Now I like to lean my body over so I clear my navel, and as I look back, it puts me in a position where I can thread my right hand through the left leg to find the reverse bind. But again, you don't have to find this variation as long as we feel that nice twist through thoracic spine. Now here's the beauty of creative air sequencing. Since we crossed our left leg, we just step back into lizard pose. Now left foot is parallel to the hands, and again we can take our options in our lizard pose. And then maybe as the body warms, we can take the wing lizard, reaching now out to the right. And then again, if you want more, you can find the lizard pose with the bind, or maybe into that seated compass bird of paradise variation. So releasing back if you have taken the bird of paradise compass into our lizard, and then to sweep the left leg back through down dog into our three-legged dog, and then into pigeon pose, left foot forward. Very good, so we'll segue into our seated twist, so maybe ankle or crossing right leg over left thigh, shifting the navel away from the body, create space to take your twist. Again, where the gaze goes, that's where the energy flows. Channeling out breath into thoracic spine, shoulders down and square. Very good, and then we'll unravel. Maybe giving the legs and shoulders a shake. Well done. So we're just going to close out with a back bend and an inversion. So maybe take your bridge pose or maybe your full wheel pose. Feel the power of the legs to lift the hips. Then slow and steady with control, just to release the spine, the equilibrium back into the earth. So again, your choice of inversion. Happy baby is always an option. Shoulder stand, plow pose, maybe your headstand. But just so we can reverse the energy after releasing it through the lower body from the lower chakras. Just preparing ourselves now for our Shavasana. Slowly roll down and take rest. Finding Shavasana. Well done.